Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna go over some of the eviction case that you might run into. Okay, so that way you can be prepared and don't be surprised when it does happen to you. Okay, so in this case, again, before we get into this, please read the disclaimer that everything I said here is just for informational purpose only, and you cannot use this as legal advice. Okay, so first case that you might run into, like this clients of mine right here, they came to our office, we helped them get the property back, but it's a long process. It's not something simple where you think you just rent and you collect rent every month and that's just it. You could run into a problem like this if the tenant is basically backfired, doesn't move or doesn't pay rent or any of that. Okay, in this case it's basically, and I highly recommend do not do this. Okay, but this client of mine, they did it, and I helped them get out of it. So basically they rent out this single family home, and in this property have 4 bedrooms. Okay, they did not rent out to one family that rent out the whole 4 bedroom. What they did is they divided it up to 4 different rooms, and they rented out to 4 different tenants. Okay, and when that happened, if you want to take the property, like in this situation, they want to take the property back, and it's not something where, you know, they ask me, oh, please move, I want my property. It doesn't work like that, because once you're in the Bay Area and you subdivide it out and you rent it out your house to many rooms like that, and you're not even staying there, then those tenants all fall under the Rent Protection Act. Okay, so you have to follow the rules of the city's rent protections. Okay, so in this case, each tenants have their own protections that they have to be served, and they have to be treated differently. Okay, what we did is we go there, and you know, first thing I do is I try to negotiate with each one of them separately that whoever want to move out early, then the owner can give them incentive like cash for keys. If they had to move out, the reason is the owner wants to sell the property. They don't want to continue renting anymore. But any tenant that's refused to accept the offer, then you have to give them the proper notice. Check with your city. Okay, every city is different, but this property in particular is in San Jose, so in Santa Clara, so they have their own rules. When situation like this happen, where you I can read it off to you. So basically, there's a guideline, the relocation money that you have to pay the tenants and give them the time frame to move if they if you want to take the property back. Okay, so in this situation is a room, so you have to give them probably, I think, 6,900 something. Okay, so I have to give them the proper notice. In that notice, the 60-day notice, and also stating that if they move out, they will get that incentive, so that way they can use that money to go rent another place, put down the deposit, and stuff like that. So if, let's just say, they don't move out after they get the money and the notice, the time frame is up, then that's when you can file the lawful detainers. Okay, so remember that. Don't do that. I mean, when you subdivide out your room, rent it out to different tenant like that, then it will fall under the Santa Clara Protection Act. So I recommend just rent out the whole house to one single family. Do not subdivide it out like that. It's never recommended. If you, some people still do it, but just limit yourself. Let's just say you live in the house and you only have a room or 2 rooms to rent it out, then that's fine. Just don't go past the 3 room. Okay, that way you won't fall into that category. Okay, so again, this one is a long process that could happen to you if you don't know your your rules in the cities, then it's gonna be tough for you guys. Okay, but again, I'm here. If you need help, just give me a call. I am happy to answer any question you have. All right, next one is another case that could happen to you, and this.
You own a property here in the Bay Area. Now you need tenants. Tenants you want living on your property. That means applications, credit checks, income verifications, background checks. Once your new tenants have moved in, things will break. 3B has lost his job and is late with rent. Meanwhile, all your bills are still due. After 2 months of no rent, you have to personally evict 3B. Now it's time to start all over. Wouldn't you rather just sit back, relax, and let us take care of that? Landlord agent 𝐇𝐎𝐒 and his crew from 𝐂𝐍𝐶𝐘𝐒 Property Management is here for you. We will keep your rental profitable, protected, and problem-free. Contact us today and start living a better life tomorrow.
Drag out many months, okay, many months. The reason is this is it's not regular. This is a foreclosure property that the owner bought, and when they bought this property, there is an existing tenant in there. So when you bought the owners, when you bought it, I mean, you have to inherit that tenant, and you have to do the right procedure to get that tenant out. So in this case, the tenant is here, and is for some reason the good thing is it's month to month, but there's still tenant in there. You can't just ask them to leave. You have to follow the rules of the lease that they have. Okay, so they're on a month to month, so that means you have to treat them, follow the month to month rule, where you give them the proper notice to ask them to move. And after the notice expire, then you can file your unlawful retainers. And highly recommend use an attorney to do that. Don't try to file unlawful retainer yourself. Okay, go pick a good company. If you don't know, just give me a call, and I can guide you to the right person. Okay. So in this case, after we file the evictions, it's not over yet. You think that it's over? No, it's not. After you file the unlawful retainer, the tenant inside here, they went to a legal aid, and they basically stating that they require reasonable accommodation for their personal reasons. Okay, so when they file that means you have to follow that county rules as well, that you have to allow them to give them a certain time to vacate, because they cannot vacate right away due to the personal circumstances that they have. Okay, and basically your eviction will be on hold until you settle that. So what we have to do is we have to hire another separate attorney that jump in, beside from the eviction attorney. Okay, jump in, and we try to negotiate with that legal aid, and come up with a time. So we have to extend out another 6 months for the tenants to stay there, and then 6 months later, then they will move. So when that happens, like you see, if you bought this house with, let's just say you're an investor and you use your hard lending money, and you bought this house, and you know your first time investing, you think that is you buy it and it's done, it's easy, and you flip it. No, it doesn't. You don't get to the flipping part yet. Okay, you have to basically handle dealing with the tenant situation first, and it could be fast, like a few months, or it could be long, like this case, probably almost over a year to get the tenants out. Okay, so that means all your money will get stuck into this investments that you are doing. Okay, so be careful out there. If you are flipping home, buying foreclosure, you try to flip it and remodel and flip it. There's many types out there. Just be careful, know your stuff, and be prepared that this could happen. Okay, not every case is smooth like people advertise. Hey, flip and you make thousands, hundreds of dollars each month. No. Yeah, it will get to this, okay? Because this is, you know, this human being living in here, and there's laws protecting those, you know, those tenants. You can't just go in, ask them to move and get the property back and sell it and flip it and keep doing that, okay? So before you buying the property, I recommend check it out, find out who is living in there before you make the purchase, and if there is owners that are living in there or tenants that live in there or squatter, and there's many type, okay? You can watch all my previous video. I did a bunch of different scenario that you can run into, okay? And that is it. I hope this information is useful for you guys, and if you need help, just give me a call. Check out my website, and I'm happy to help you guys and give you that and coach you throughout the process, okay? Thank you, and I see you next time on the next video. Bye-bye.